Thursday, May 28th. Listen to this. In one of his books, Henry Nouwen recounts a spiritual insight that came to him through a friendship he had with the Flying Rodleys, famous German trapeze artists. Nouwen spent a week in Germany with this group of South Africans and Americans. One day, the trapeze group leader told Nouwen, "As a flyer, I must have complete trust in my catcher. The public might think that I am the great star of the trapeze, but the real star is Joe, my catcher. He has to be there for me with split-second precision and grab me out of the air as I come to him in the long jump. The secret is that the flyer does nothing and the catcher does everything. The worst thing the flyer can do is to try to catch the catcher. A flyer must fly and a catcher must catch, and the flyer must trust with outstretched arms that his catcher will be there for him." That's a bit like what's happening as we do these exercises. At least I hope it is. Once upon a time, I was a founder member of East Norfolk Youth for Christ. It was a long while ago. And I remember having a meeting with Rob White, who was then the director of Youth for Christ. And we had a big prayer meeting as we were getting ready for a next step in the development of Youth for Christ. And in that prayer meeting, he came and he prayed with me. And he said to me, "Tracy, I have this picture of you at the top of a cliff. And there beneath are the arms of God. The question is, do you have what it takes? Do you have the faith to jump?" I was a different person back then, but what he was speaking about was my insecurity and my fear of failure. Now, it hasn't gone away, ask my husband. But as we do these exercises, there comes a moment when what God says to us is, here's the gift, the Spirit, the freedom to be the person I see within you, the freedom to let go of what's holding you back, the freedom to fly in the power of the Spirit. And he holds out his hand and he offers it to us. All we have to do is reach out and take it. All we need to do is jump. Another illustration is that famous scene from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Remember Indiana Jones standing on the edge of a cliff face, only this time somebody's got his father and he's holding a gun against his head, and they've sent Indiana Jones out to find the Holy Grail. And it's there on the other side of the chasm. And Indiana Jones stands there and then he can see the entrance on the other side, but there's no way across. There doesn't seem to be a way across. But in the end, what he does is he places his foot into midair, and as he does so, the glass bridge can be seen. You see, that last step is always a leap of faith. And we know, of course, that Indiana Jones always wins. in these exercises as we get closer to Pentecost. And actually, I keep saying, it's not just about Pentecost, it's about any time in our life when we want to feel the freedom of the Spirit, when we want to know God's guidance for our lives. This waiting needs to become a habit, needs to become something that is part of our relationship with God. But in each of those situations, there comes a moment when we have to step out in faith, when we need to jump off the cliff and allow God to catch us, because He is the catcher. We are the ones that desire to fly. What a great picture of what God asks us to do. We are the flyer and He is the catcher. We are as dependent on Him as the trapeze flyer is upon his catcher. People may see us and think how great we are, but the real star of this is our Lord, not us. On this day, as you swing through the air seemingly far, far above safety, you must trust in the Lord to be your catcher. Wait for Him. He will be there for you if you just let go and let God. See you tomorrow.